And thank you for attending the USA Triathlon Age Group and Sprint National Championship pre-race briefing. My name is Emily with the Active Network, and I'll be moderating today's webinar. Our presenter today is USAT Race Director Jeff Dyrek, and we also have Rachel Leaf and Tom Thurkildson from USAT who will be answering your questions throughout the talk. Before we get started, there are a few items I'd like to go over. First off, we encourage you to listen to the webinar through your computer speakers. If that's not an option for you, you can dial into the phone number located in the email you received when you registered. All callers will be placed on mute throughout the entire presentation. If you have any questions, you can submit them using the Q&A box on the right-hand side of your screen at any time during the presentation. Simply type your question into the Q&A box and send it to all panelists. Please note that there is both a chat box and a Q&A box on the right-hand side of your screen. So make sure that you enter your questions into the Q&A box so Rachel and Tom can answer your questions for you. And lastly, this presentation is being recorded and will be available on USAT's website after the webinar. You'll receive an email with the link to the recording once it's ready. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Dyrek. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Emily. Appreciate that. Welcome to all the athletes. We're excited to head off to Burlington next week and put on a great event for you all. So really just going to go over this webinar, and really this is your pre-race briefing, and this is your opportunity to kind of get a sense of the course, ask some questions. It is being recorded, so you can go back and watch this several times, or if there's someone who you know is not on the webinar, again, you can let them know that it's recorded and they can kind of check out the briefing webinar before they get to Burlington and hopefully answer most of their questions. So let's get started. And again, feel free to use those chat box to ask questions, and we'll get those answered as quickly as we can. So let's kind of just talk a little bit about the schedule of events. You know, there will be a packet pickup opportunity on Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the host hotel, which is at the Sheraton. Again, just go to the expo hall and you can go to packet pickup between 3 and 6. The expo will be open at that time from 3 to 7. And also Thursday evening will be the Athlete of the Year celebration cruise, again at the Burlington Boathouse. You must be pre-registered for that, and I think we have several hundred athletes that are attending that. So it's a great way to celebrate excellent 2010 performances from our athletes. On Friday, go over the schedule. So starting from 7 to 9 a.m., there is a swim practice. Now, the swim practice is not in the actual course. The swim course that we're using is a commercial waterway, so we are not able to let athletes swim because there will be commercial vessels going back and forth in that area. So the swim practice will take place at the Lake Champlain Community Sailing Center. So again, stay within there. It'll give you an opportunity to get in, test the water, get a sense of again what any kind of choppiness that might be out there. But again, you will not be able to swim the course. The Coast Guard or Harbor Patrol will remove you from the water if you go to the actual swim course. 9 to 12 will have focus groups over at the Sheraton. From 10 to 6 p.m., packet pickup will take place, and that again is at the Sheraton in the Expo Hall. At 1 o'clock, we'll have an age group rules briefing. 3 to 7, mandatory bike check-in. All athletes must do this at the transition area, so I will stress that 3 to 7 is mandatory bike check-in. 4 to 7 will be another swim practice. Again, same rules apply. Stay within the designated area. Do not swim the course. You'll be at the Lake Champlain Community Sailing Center for that swim warm-up. 5 o'clock, there is a USAT Foundation dinner, the Legends Pasta Dinner. That is a pre-registered opportunity as well. So again, that is a pre-registered function at 3 Tomatoes there in Burlington. 6 to 8 is the pre-race pasta dinner, and that will take place at Frederick Tuttle Middle School cafeteria. Talk a little bit about Saturday. Wave starts kind of where you need to be first thing in the morning. So at 5:30 in the morning, transition will open for Olympic distance athletes only. That's Olympic distance only at 5:30. You have till 7:30 to get all your stuff in organized. So transition closes at 7:30. At 7:30, we will start the race promptly. That is, again, males 35 to 39 will kick off the race at 7:30. 7:33 is females 35 to 39. 7:36, males 40 to 44, 739 females 40 to 44, 742 males 60 plus, 745 females 55 plus, 805 males 55 to 59, 808 males 50 to 54, 811 females 50 to 54, 814 males 45 to 49, 817 females 45 to 49, 820 males 30 to 34, 823 females 30 to 34, 826 males 25 to 29, 829 females 25-29, 832 males 24 and under, and our final wave is at 835 for females 24 and under. So again, make sure you give yourself plenty of time before we reach start time. I'd give yourself a minimum of 10 minutes before your start wave to get to the start area. There is a swim cutoff time, which you'll see right here, which is at 9:20. So again, the course will be cleared at 9:20 for the Olympic distance race. So again, I'll stress that 9:20, the cutoff course for the swim. 11:15 a.m. will be the bike course will close for the Olympic distance. So we have a couple cutoff times here you need to pay attention to. So 11:30 approximately, Olympic bike checkout begins. So those athletes who may be completed, again, there should be about 11:30 or so. Again, we'll gauge the flow of athletes, but roughly about 11:30 we'll start bike checkout for the Olympic distance. And at that same time, at 11:30, the sprint national athletes will be able to check into transition. And then at 12:15, the entire course will be closed for the Olympic distance athletes. So you must be off the course by 12:15 if you're doing the Olympic distance. At 12:30, the sprint transition will close. So again, you got till 12:30 to get all your gear in there, organized and ready to go. And we will start promptly at 12:30 with the Sprint National Championship with males 16 to 39 and females 16 to 29. So that is your start time at 12:34. Males 40 to 54. At 12:38, females 30 to 54. 12:42, males 55 plus and females 55 plus. 12:46 is our People's United Bank V-Tri, and that will conclude all the wave starts for the sprint distance event. We also have some cutoff times for the sprint race. As you'll notice here again, 1:20 is the sprint swim cutoff. So if you're a sprint athlete and you haven't cleared the course by 1:20, we will pull you. Approximately 2 o'clock, bike checkout will begin. Again, we'll gauge the flow of athletes, but approximately 2 o'clock, we'll let you get your bikes out of transition. 2 o'clock, the sprint bike cutoff. So again, 2 o'clock, make sure you get back to the transition and onto the run, because we will remove you from the bike course at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, the sprint course closes. So again, we need everyone to be across the finish line at 3 o'clock for the sprint race. At 5 to 5:45, the USAT Town Hall meeting will take place. This will be led by USAT President Bob Wendling and USAT CEO Rob Urbach. Again, this is your opportunity to hear where the sport is headed, to ask some questions about where the direction of the sport is going. Great opportunity to get some good answers from our CEO and the board president. And then the big time, 6 to 8 o'clock, is the award ceremony, and this will encompass both the Olympic and sprint distance. So make sure you attend 6 to 8 o'clock at the Sheraton, the host hotel, for the award ceremony. A little bit about packet pickup. Again, Thursday and Friday, you have an opportunity to pick up your packets. So again, make sure you give yourself plenty of time. So 3 to 6 on Thursday, 10 to 6 on Friday. Again, the expo will take place during those times as well. You must have a photo ID and your USAT membership card, so make sure you bring those, put them in your wallets, whatever you need, because you will need that information to pick up your packets at packet pickup. People's United Bank V-Tri relay teams must check in together as a team. So if you are showing up to pick this up, make sure your whole team is together if you're part of the V-Tri relay team, which is part of the People's United Bank. Okay, a little bit also about packet pickup procedures. You will receive your timing chip at packet pickup. Now, I know there's going to be a few of you that will leave your chip at the hotel. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but let's make sure you pick up your chip and bring it with you on race morning. So if athletes forget your timing chip on race morning, there are two opportunities for you. One, make sure you bring a credit card, because we'll issue another chip. We will not issue another chip unless we have that credit card or a check. But again, that credit card will be kept on file. And again, it will be your responsibility to return both chips to us by the end of the day. If not, if those chips are not returned, the athletes will be charged a $125 fee per chip. So let me rephrase that. Again, state that again, $125 per chip. So do not forget your chip on race morning. It'll be very costly, added stress. You don't want that, so make sure you put it in a place that you will remember to bring it. Another very important thing, and this goes for all week, for all of the functions, on Friday for bike bike check-in, and then Saturday for the event. Parking will be enforced by the police in Burlington. So we'll go over some of the maps here in a second, but there's plenty of parking for everyone. But again, if you do not park in one of these designated areas, don't be surprised if you come back and your vehicle has been towed. So I'd hate to see that happen. So again, I'll go over the maps here in a second. And these are your locations. This will be on the website. This will be in your programs. So again, make sure you have this handy, because if you don't park in these designated areas, the likelihood of being towed is pretty good. So make sure you park in those designated areas. The pre-race pasta dinner will take place on Friday, August 19th, and that is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Frederick Tuttle Middle School cafeteria. There are directions on the website how to get there. That is hosted by the South Burlington Rotary Club. So we thank the South Burlington Rotary Club for hosting this. Tickets are available now online for $15 a person, plus the administrative fee. So feel free to go online, buy that now. If you decide to go day of on Saturday, there will be a $20 charge. So we encourage you to buy those tickets now to save a little money. This is also catered by Bove's, which is, again, very famous restaurant there in Burlington. Food is great, is what I've been told. Talk a little bit about what you're getting in your packets and what you'll need to do with your race numbers, your bib numbers. You will receive a sheet of numbers, which will look like this right here. So there are several numbers on this sheet, and we'll go over which ones and how you use them. You'll receive 2 swim cap numbers, which you see in this picture here. You'll have 2 swim caps. We encourage you and strongly encourage you to put those on the night before. This helps us identify you in the swim. Again, from an announcing, from a PA standpoint, we're doing some live streaming, and it will help us identify who the athletes are, but also from a safety perspective. We encourage you to put your swim cap on the night before, then apply the swim cap numbers, and then take your cap off. If you do it the other way around, those swim cap numbers will not stick. So put your cap on first, then apply the swim cap numbers, and then remove it. You will also receive a helmet number right here, which will be placed on the front of your helmet, as seen in this photo here. Your bib number, which are these 2 large ones, can be applied in a couple different ways. As you'll see here, you will have a race, if you have a race belt, you will also receive a race belt in your goodie bag, so you could apply them back to back so they stick to each other to the race belt and apply it like this. Or you can apply it to your jersey. I would use safety pins if you're going to put it on your jersey, and those safety pins will be provided for you at packet pickup. So again, 2 ways to apply it. I would recommend the swim belt or the race belt, and again, it works really well. You will also get a bike number, which is this top one here. The bike number goes on your rear seat post, and if you don't have enough room here, place it on your rear brake cable, which will be right in this area. Just make sure it's visibly clear to the officials on the bike course, again, just in case there may be a penalty to assess. You also will get a bag tag, which is this number right here. Apply it to any of your transition bags. Apply it to anything that you're not taken into the transition area, because, again, only race essentials are allowed in transition. There will be a bag check. And, again, this will just help us identify any lost and found, and it will also help us in the bag check area to identify your bag. You will also get something you might not be familiar with, and again, you will get tattoos with your bib number. Again, so we will not be body marking you on race morning. You will receive the night before some tattoos with your number on it. Again, there will be one for each arm, as you see here, and one for each leg. We recommend the ones on the legs go on your shins, so that, again, nowadays uniforms kind of come low to the knees, so we recommend you put them down on your shins in this area. Again, really pay attention to these because, again, there will be a handful of you that will show up with them upside down, backwards, and make things a little bit interesting. So don't be that person. Get them on right the first time. And remember, when you're looking into a mirror, again, they're going to appear backwards. So, again, pay attention to when you put those on. We will body mark you at the venue, but the only body marking we will do is apply your race day age, which is December 31st, on your calf. So you will put your own numbers on race morning on your arms and on your legs, and the staff at transition will put your age on your calf. At Friday, August 19th, we will be at 1 o'clock providing an age group rules briefing. This is optional. This will be led by head referee Charlie Crawford, and this is your opportunity to ask any questions about drafting, blocking, any of the rules within USAT's rule book. So this is your opportunity, to get those cleared up. What's abandoning equipment? Those type of questions. This will take place at the Sheraton, again, there Burlington, the Emerald Rooms. Again, USAT rules will be enforced. There will be plenty of officials out there, so it's your responsibility to know the rules. So make sure you get there. This rules briefing is not a briefing on the course. We will be there to answer some questions, but really this is the focus on what the rules are for the race day. Bike check-ins. So again, as I mentioned, Friday, August 19th at Transition at Waterfront Park, there is mandatory bike check-in for all athletes, 3 to 7. You must have your wristband and you must have your bike number on your bike to get in the transition area. 3 to 7. Make sure you follow the parking maps because the parking maps will apply, enforcement will apply to Friday. So again, I'd hate to have someone get their car towed because they decided to pick another space to park in. Again, bike support will be provided at the expo, but also down at the race venue. A ski rack will be providing that support. Talk a little bit about race morning on Saturday. So again, go over age group transition for the Olympic distance will open from 5:30 to 7:30. Sprint nationals, your transition is 11:30 to 12:30. Again, refer to the parking maps race morning. Give yourself plenty of time to get down there. It's going to be a big event, a lot of spectators, a lot of athletes, so give yourself plenty of time. As I mentioned a couple slides ago, no excess bags will be allowed in transition. Race essentials only. Transition bags will need to be left at the bag check or with a family member in your car, wherever it might be, but only race essentials in the transition area. The bag check tent will be there, again, clearly marked near the transition area. Again, bike support will be there on race morning, provided by Ski Rack for any last-minute adjustments. All right, we'll talk about the swim courses here. Again, the age group, national championship, Olympic distance, you have a 1-lap course. Anticipate a wetsuit legal swim. 72 degrees is the recent water temperature that we received, so 72 degrees. Again, that obviously will change between now and next Saturday. It will be an in-water start with a rectangular type loop swim. Your yellow triangular buoys will be your turn buoys. Orange round buoys will be your sight buoys. And again, we'll talk a little bit about the course, but so water support will be out there. Again, plenty of boats, lifeguards. So if you need assistance, raise your hand, and they'll get over there to help you very quickly. Again, as we talked about for each wave start, we are starting on time. So if your wave starts, your time starts when the wave goes, not when your timing chip is registered. The wave will start on time. So give yourself at least 10 minutes prior to your wave to get to the swim start area because it's a little different, a little bit further away from the swim exit and transition area. So this is our swim map. So as I mentioned, the transition is over in this area. Your swim exit's here, but the swim start is all the way down to this area here. So give yourself plenty of time to get down here. So the swim start, again, You're going to have orange will be your sight buoys, yellow triangle will be your turn buoys. There will be in-water start, the gun will go off. You'll have a long straightaway with a right turn at this buoy, a right turn at the next yellow buoy, and then you'll kind of have two left-hand buoys here, and there will be plenty of kayaks and boats to guide you in the right direction. So just know your first two turns are going to be right turns. Your last two will be left to bring you into the U.S. Coast Guard harbor right here, which are there a boat ramp that you will exit. So again, it's a couple turns, but again, it's two, keeping these buoys to your right, keeping these buoys to your left to the swim exit. For Sprint Nationals and the V-Tri, again, one lap course. Again, same thing, anticipate a wetsuit legal swim. In-water sight, almost an identical course, which we'll hit here in a second. Again, your buoys will be right turns. Your next turns will be left turns. Plenty of water support. Boats, lifeguards will be out there. And give yourself plenty of time before each wave. So if you recall from the Olympic distance turns were out in this area. So once it comes to sprint, we'll move those turn buoys to this area. And again, so you're going to head out, in-water start, gun will go off. Right turn at the yellow, right turn at the yellow, and then the left turns in this area into the U.S. Coast Guard harbor and out the boat ramp and into transition. Bike course for age group nationals, Olympic distance course, one lap, 40 kilometers, rolling hills. There will be one lane closed to bike traffic. So again, you'll have no cars should be in your lanes for the event. There will be no bottle exchange out on the course, so make sure you provide enough water for yourself in your water bottles, again, because we will not be providing an aid station on the bike course. Again, just pay attention for safety. Please, don't put your head down and forget that you're out there and there's some roads, cars on the roads. You're not sharing them, but there are cars out there. So just pay attention to traffic and keep your eyes up. Again, USAT officials will be out in force. So again, know the rules. Go to the briefing if you have questions about what the rules are in the rule book. So here is your bike course. This area over here is where the transition and where you'll start. You'll again kind of head out down Lake Street, and again, if you go to the website, you'll have a kind of an inset. This first portion here is a little bit tricky, but again, you'll head out Lake Street, over to Pine to Main Street, down Pine, which this area right here, which is Interstate 189, you'll make a left turn onto Interstate 189. Now, when you get to Burlington, this section will not be available to practice on. This is an interstate, so we had the governor of Vermont shut this down for us, so we're much appreciative to the governor. So you'll enter Interstate 189. At this point here, you'll exit at Dorset Street, take a right on Swift, and a left on Spear. And then there'll be one long kind of loop out to Irish Hills. And then there's a little out and back section here that you'll hit to make sure we get our 40K. Again, the lanes in this direction on the north side of the course will be closed to traffic. And again, on this side coming south, going south, this will be closed to bike track. This is only open for cars. Going north will be open for only bikes heading back north toward the transition area. There will be a timing mat out here to register everyone making that turnaround. So again, if you cut the course, it will be registered through the timing mats. And as I mentioned, it is a rolling course. Again, as you come back down Dorset, this is a little rural out here. So again, this is where, again, a lot more of the hills. This section of the course here is going to be a little bit more city riding. As you come back Dorset, you'll re-enter Interstate 189, back down right on Pine, and then you'll follow the course back to the transition area. The Sprint Nationals, the sprint course, one lap, 20K, rolling hills, one lane closed, exactly like we mentioned. There will be no bottle exchange. Pay attention to traffic, and USAT officials will also be out there for you guys. Again, go to the rules briefing if you have any questions. So the course is identical, except your turnaround point when you get to Nolan Farm Road, which is right here. Again, Olympic distance will continue straight on Spears. The sprint course, you're going to take a left on Nolan Farm Road, and then another left back on Dorset and head back to transition. Now, your course is closer to 21 kilometers. So again, it's not 20K exactly. We're closer to 21K with this course. So again, just know that, make note of that for your preparations. Run course for the age group nationals Olympic distance, 1 lap, 10 kilometers. The roads are closed to traffic. There'll be plenty of marshals out there, volunteers, police, keeping you on track. There will also be 5 aid stations along the way, again, providing Gatorade, water, and goo at each station. So again, your transition is down in this area here. As soon as you come out of the transition area, you will be tested. If you look at the elevation, Depot Street is a pretty significant climb to get you out onto North Avenue. So you'll head up Depot Street, get on North Avenue, all the way down to Letty Park Road, where you'll take a left. This is kind of a park area, so you'll be riding through a park. You'll hit Dale Road, Stanbury Road. It's kind of it's 2 streets in one. You'll take a right there, kind of head down to what's called the Island Line Trail. This is not just a 180 U-turn. You'll actually head down the path to this trail. This is a bike trail. You'll take a left onto Island Line Trail. Great views along the Lake Champlain. You'll head all the way back down and enter into the finish area. So again, this is going to be the most challenging part, coming right out of transition. For the most part, it is a flat run course. Again, just that beginning portion, as you'll see here, has a little bit of elevation change. For the sprint nationals, the sprint course, 1 lap with a 5 kilometers. The roads are closed for you. 3 aid stations, Gatorade, water, and goo. Plenty of volunteers, marshals, police to keep you on track. And it'll be well marked with arrows and everything else. So the difference for you for the sprint nationals, as you come out of transition, you'll head up Depot Street again. So you will be this gives you a little better understanding of what Depot Street is all about. So it's going to test you for about 0.2 miles, maybe a little bit less than that, but this will definitely challenge you. You'll head up Depot. That will dump you off on the North Ave. You'll take that down to Institute Road, where you'll take a left, which will drop you down on Island Line Trail, which is the bike path that we talked about, and that will bring you all the way back to the finish line. So again, pretty flat once you get up into this area here, but that initial start of the course will test you a bit. Again, the aid stations, as we mentioned, there will be 5 on the Olympic distance, 3 on the sprint. We'll provide Gatorade, goo, multiple flavors of goo, water and ice, and there, again, will be no bottle exchange on the bike course. So make sure you have a water bottle and plenty of fluids for the bike course yourself. Transition. There are 2 separate transition areas for the Olympic distance and sprint, and we'll talk about that here in a second on a map. But again, there are clearly separate areas. There will be mount and dismount lines clearly marked with USAT officials keeping track of that. Bike racks will be individually numbered, so it's not first come, first serve. Your number will be on the bike rack, and that's where you will set up. Again, you will rack your bike by your seat. That is very important. So again, you will rack your bike by your seat when you get in there. Again, only race essentials will be allowed. You can bring your transition bags in, get set up, but once you're done and ready to leave transition, all your bags must go. Only race essentials are allowed to stay. Age group bike checkout will begin approximately 11:30. We'll gauge the flow of athletes, and the sprint bike checkout will begin approximately about 2 o'clock, and then we'll gauge the flow of athletes to make sure that we're not interfering with anybody's events. So as I mentioned, there are 2 clearly designed transition areas. This area here is our finish line. This is your swim exit over here. This is the age group transition. This is your sprint transition over here. So kind of give you a gauge of the flow. For the Olympic distance, you are going to come out of the swim exit here. You'll enter the chute at this area, and then you'll enter the transition from this top left corner. Bike out is down in this area, so you'll head out here, Mount Line here, head on out onto the bike course. You'll head all the way back down on, this is Lake Street, dismount, enter transition up here, run out, will be here, and you'll follow this little chute this way to take you out up the challenge on Depot Street. For the sprint, your swim exit will take place in the same spot. You'll come out and you'll kind of follow this run out chute here to enter the transition. You'll exit down here out on the bike course. When you complete, come back on Lake Street, you'll come back up to here, dismount, enter here, and then you'll run out down at this portion, up, and then back into this chute, and then out onto the course. So again, that is your flow maps. Again, clearly separate for both the age group Olympic distance and age group sprint nationals. As you'll look here, you'll see beer being served. We have a beer garden set up. Your post-race food will be in this area, massage. We'll have an expo lined up here. If you have anyone volunteering for the event, that check-in is taking place at this area. Porta-johns will be here and over here, so there should be plenty of them for you, race morning and on Friday. And again, your results and all that stuff will take place in this area. So again, bag check right outside the transition of the Olympic distance, so make sure all your bags go in there. Finish line, water, Gatorade will be provided. We have a very, very strong medical support team that will be providing any medical care that is needed. You'll receive finisher medals, post-race food, beer garden. Penalties will be posted at the results. There will also be individual results, kind of like a receipt. So your individual printer results will be provided to you. You give them your race number, and they'll give you a printout of all your splits. Check your penalties because, again, all results will be final just before the award ceremony. Make sure you bring your ID because at the beer garden they will be checking. So again, come to the beer garden after the event, get your family, celebrate a strong win for everybody crossing that finish line. The award ceremony will take place at the Sheraton, again 6 to 8 o'clock. Both the age group Olympic distance national championship will take place as well as the sprint, and so will the People's United Bank V-Tri. All up between the 6 to 8 o'clock. Age group nationals will go top 10 in each age group. We'll go top 3 Athenas, 39 and under, 40 and over. Top 3 Clydesdale, 39 and under and 40 and over for that. Sprint will go top 3 awards per age group, and the same with the Athenas and Clydesdale. And then we'll award the top male and top female open division for the V-Tri, top male and top female masters, as well as the top team relay that is participating in that People's United Bank V-Tri. This will also be your opportunity to sign up for Team USA. So for the age group, Olympic distance, and the sprint distance, if you're trying to qualify for Auckland, New Zealand, the ITU World Championships in 2012, you must be in attendance of the award ceremony to claim your spot. So again, show up. You'll need to sign up at between 6 and 8 o'clock, and we'll give you specific instructions at the beginning of the award ceremony. We'll go to top 18 per age group, and we'll roll down to 25. So again, that is for Team USA and trying to qualify for Auckland, New Zealand. Some thank yous. The Lake Champlain Regional Chamber of Commerce, they've been instrumental in all this. The City of Burlington, the City of Shelburne, the City of South Burlington for allowing us to use their roads. Run Vermont for providing all the support that we need. Again, as a local organizer, Bill Simonetti and his local organizing team have been great and great to work with, getting us out to the key people and putting together a great course. And one of our sponsors, People's United Bank, we look forward to working with you. So again, our USAT sponsors, TIER, Rudy Project, Blue, Gatorade. Again, our event sponsors, Subway and People's United Bank. We will also be doing live streaming for this event, for the Olympic distance event. So go to usatriathlon.org. If your families aren't in attendance, they can check out some live streaming and some play-by-play action of the event. Subway, as we mentioned, is an event sponsor. Jared will be present. So again, you will have an opportunity to have lunch with Jared on Saturday. So at the expo on Friday, make sure you stop by the Subway booth. and again, enter your name, and then there will be 3 lucky individuals who will be able to have lunch with Jared at 2 o'clock on Saturday, August 20th. So that lunch will take place down at Waterfront Park where the venue is, where the venue is taking place. So questions, I know there's a lot of questions that have been going through and being answered. I'll go through some of them right now. The question was, once the transition is closed, are you able to bring your bikes in and out? So on Friday, when you check your bike in, your bike stays in. It's not coming out in the morning for a warm-up. Again, you could bring a trainer and warm up in the transition area, but once bikes go into transition on Friday, they are staying in. There was a question, will the tri-tats or the decals fall off on your arms and your legs? Again, the answer is no. Again, we've used them at several events. If you're going to use sunscreen, which we do recommend, again, put your tri-tats on first, then your sunscreen. Don't do it the opposite. So again, tri-tats are water resistant. Again, the bike checkout for Olympic distance athletes will be approximately 11:30. Again, around 11:30 we'll allow bikes to be checked out. And again, we won't do so until it's clear and we're not interfering with other athletes on their national championship event. So again, there will be, and I'm kind of hitting some of the main questions that we've been seeing. Again, no transition bags will be allowed to be left in the transition area. Those must go to the bag check. Only race essentials will be allowed to stay in. Again, if we find transition bags in the transition area, they will be removed by officials. So again, do not leave it in transition. Put it in the bag check, your car, leave it with a loved one. How long is the run from the swim exit to transition? For the Olympic distance, you're probably looking at about 100 meters or so. The sprint, you're more around 200 meters, so a little bit longer run for the sprint race. So those are the main questions that we have. Feel free to email nationalevents@usatriathlon.org with any additional questions. As we mentioned at the beginning, this is being recorded. So again, you can go back and watch this several times. You can send it out to your friends who may not be here on the live webinar. So again, this is your opportunity to look at this several times, go through the course, look at the timelines, and all that other good stuff. So we definitely appreciate your time. We appreciate your support of this great sport of ours. Again, your support of USA Triathlon. We're looking forward to seeing everyone in Burlington. Have a great race. And again, let us know if there's any additional questions, and we'll see you next week.
Great. Thank you so much, Jeff. That was really informative. Everyone on the line, if you have any questions, again, you can submit them using the Q&A box on the right-hand side of your screen. I think there's been a little bit of confusion because there's both a chat box and a Q&A box. A lot of people have been fielding their questions into the chat box. So right beneath that is a Q&A box. It should say Q&A in the blue heading. And so if you submit your questions in there, we'll be on the line for for as long as it takes for, the next 15, 20 minutes or so to answer all of your questions. And again, a recording of this webinar will be available on the USAT website. So for those of you who came in, maybe you missed the beginning, you'll be receiving an email with the link to that in a little bit. So thank you, everyone. Jeff, is there anything else? Any other questions you want to address? Or?
Yep, I think we're good to go. And again, just national events at usatriathlon.org. You can email additional questions.
Great. Thank you so much. And everyone on the line, thank you for joining us today, and best of luck on your race.